Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video, we're finally going to take a look at this massive kit, which is the Narrative Gundam Verka. So yeah, I think this is probably my most anticipated kit of the year, because I've been eyeing this kit for like around a year at this point. I think it was last September to October, I forgot when the exact date was when I saw that we're getting a Narrative Gundam. And I thought it was really cool. I really like this kit, and yeah, I would like to see how this builds up. And as always, Verka is always like an event. At least it always appears like once in a while, or once in a year actually. We got the Zeta Gundam last year, and now we're getting the Narrative Gundam this year, which is very cool. I'm a huge fan of the Unicorn line. I also made the MGEX, so I thought this set or this kit will be pretty interesting to review. So yeah, anyways, let's just take a look at the box art first here. I don't think it can fit in frame because it's just too close. But here is the main box art here. Let's take a look at the sides as usual. We got some really nice illustrations here on the side from the usual typical Verka box style, which is pretty cool. We got some stats here also, that's pretty nice. At the top here, we also have this normal Verka style detail for a box here. And then on the other side, we also have some illustrations here also, which is very cool. This core block will be pretty interesting to look at, so I'm quite hyped for that. And yeah, I don't know whether or not I'm supposed to use the water slide for this review, but I'll try to consider to use some of them. So here is the manual, an absolute behemoth here. We got a pretty thick manual here, as how Verka tends to be. Quite thick manual. We got a lot of parts here. As you can see, this box is actually quite thick. I think this might actually be as thick as the Gyan box we take a look at like the last two episodes. I think you can say that it's like twice as big as it, so that's pretty nice. We also got the war slides here, typical staple of the Verka line. And actually, I don't think I have used much of the war slides so far. At least in the Zeta Gundam from the Zeta Gundam episode, I did not. I did not use any of the stickers just yet, just because I thought if I'm gonna if I'm gonna use the war slides, I'm probably gonna use the top coat as well. So it's probably gonna take a lot of time. So I didn't really have the time to put war slides on those. So yeah, here is the last bag, and yeah, that's a pretty hefty size of runners here. We got an entire mountain here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7 bags of runners, which is quite a lot. Well, that's almost to be expected from a Verka. And if you're wondering why I'm not checking the runners, it's just because it's already been checked. When I bought this from the hobby shop, the dudes over at the hobby shop already checked this, so I don't really check it. But what I meant by checking it is always check the amount of runners you're getting is safe, especially when you're buying it from a model kit shop that doesn't seal the boxes at all. So yeah, just make sure to always check that first. Luckily, the hobby shop that I go to buy this kit already checks most of the stuff here, so it's quite I feel quite safe by just directly opening this without checking again. So yeah, always be sure to check out for any missing pieces or any possible runners, because you don't know what's gonna happen with some of the kits. And yeah, that's just a small public safety announcement, or whatever you call it. It's a PSA. Yeah, I think it's a PSA. That's how what you say, right? Just a small reminder to always check your runners, just in the case that you are missing some. So yeah, always check your runners, guys. And there is a lot of packaging here, so I have to open a lot of these, so bear with me, guys. It'll take some time to open all of these, just so we can get the full unboxing experience. And yeah, I mean, after reviewing a lot of the Seed Freedom kits, seeing that really small sticker sheet down there is quite the sight, because I mean you can't compare a Master Grade to High Grade, but like, it's just nice to see not that much stuff to paste on your model kits, except if it's water decals, of course, because that's just a completely different breed. And yeah, so I've finished unboxing everything. And also, if you normally watch my videos, I always say to keep the plastic bags before throwing them out when you're finished building the kit, so always do that as well. So if you didn't know that, now you know, just in case you pulled an oopsie like me and some parts from the runner falls off the runner and into the bag and you throw them to the trash. So yeah, just be careful with that. And yeah, let's just start off. I'm not gonna start off alphabetically because there's a lot of stuff, and I don't have the time to sort that out real quick. So let's just take a look at the runners that I have here, starting from the top of the stack down to the bottom. So here we have the first runner, which is the I runner. It is in full gray here. And I'm actually quite curious if this is labeled as a narrative or the unicorn actually. So I think this is labeled the narrative. I think the one that's labeled as the unicorn is the psycho frame, but we'll take a look at that. So here is the I runner. We get 2 copies of it. I think most of them are for the legs, so that's quite nice. Got a nice gray color for our inner frames. And here is with the runner N. This is a red piece here. It's quite, I would say the finish is like a bit matte, but not that matte. It's like a semi-gloss, so that's quite nice. We got some parts for the core block, I'm assuming, so that's quite cool. Right there for the N runner. Here we have, oh, this is actually the A runner. I'm assuming this is some of the psycho frame. Yeah, here is some of the psycho frame. I think this is for the deactivated version, which is quite nice. It says in here that it is made in 2022, and it is actually part of the Unicorn Gundam. I'm not sure if this is the Verka was, I think the Verka was in 2021, so I'm not sure where this is from. If you guys know where this is from, please correct me in the comments, but it's actually quite interesting. We got runners A and B for the Psycho Frame, the deactivated version. All of them labeled as the Unicorn Gundam actually, so yeah, it's made of the ABS plastic. I think it's labeled as ABS right here, you guys can see. Right here, ABS, where is it? It's right here. I don't think you guys can see it that well, but it says there it's ABS. So I think you have to pay attention to the using the panel lines, just in case you somehow want to panel line this. So just a short reminder, I think ABS does react differently with some of the enamel thinners, so just be careful with that. And here we have the G runner. It's also labeled as the Narrative Gundam. It's in full white. It's the armor pieces for some of the legs I'm seeing here, so that's quite nice. We also get another copy of the G runner, so we got 2 G runners here. Let's just move them aside. And here we have the H runner. We have some parts for the legs, and I think this is also part of the Narrative Gundam, so it's just a normal inner frame parts. We got some parts for the waist also right here, some waist parts here, so that's quite nice. Got some head parts here as well, which is pretty cool. We also got the inner frame for the shield, so that's the H runner I mean. And now we have the M2 runner here. We got some accent colors for the front flaps and back flaps. Also some parts for the legs, I'm assuming, and the shoulder. So that's quite nice. I think this is the part where you're supposed to swap out. I think this is for the standard narrative version. So we're going to take a look at that as well, the different versions. I hope to be able to make this review not that hard, not that long, because I think there's like a lot of stuff here, and it's already been 10 minutes since we were doing the unboxing, so yeah, I'm trying to make this short. So we have the E runner with some of the parts for the chest. We have some parts for the what is this? Actually, I think this might be the butt flap. And we also have some parts for the shield, which is pretty cool. That is the E runner. Here we have the J runner, which is also labeled as Narrative Gundam. It's a bit more in a gunmetal black. It's a bit shiny-ish, but that's quite nice. It's a bit different from the frame parts that we saw earlier. My camera is not focusing for some reason. There we go. So yeah, this is the J runner with a bit more of a metallic black finish. And here is another Psycho Frame runner here, labeled as runner C. And this is also labeled as the Unicorn Gundam. I'm pretty sure it's behind here. Wait, let me just check again. Actually, no, I don't think this is actually labeled as anything, but I'm pretty sure this is from the Unicorn as well. Some parts from the Unicorn. So that's quite nice. It says that it's made in Japan in 2023, so it's quite interesting. I have to probably research a bit more on that. It's quite interesting. And here is the K runner with some parts for that rifle, the Dragon rifle, which is pretty cool. The one that you can also convert into the Narrative's rifle, which is very cool. Also in a gunmetal black, by the way. That's the other runner that we saw. We also have another M1 runner for the accent colors in gray. We get the standard beam saber here. It's a bit bent. I don't know why. It's probably because I had this kit for some time in my backlog, so yeah, that's probably why. We also have another F runner with some of the the legs, and also some parts of the beam saber here. We have 2 beam sabers here, which is pretty cool. And yeah, also molded in this really nice white color that I really like so far. And here is our D runner with our V fin and some yellow accent colors. We also have the darker blue colors, which is also similar. Actually, not similar. I think it might be the same shade as in the Unicorn Gundam. And we also have some blue here, which is for the core block, I'm assuming. Got some clear parts for the core block again, and that is it for the D runner, multicolor runner. And finally, we have the two last runners, which is the L runners, which is also in this metallic black color, and it's for some of the parts in the, I'm not sure actually, I think it's just some joint parts, so that's quite nice. Also molded in this really nice metallic black color-ish, which is quite cool. I really like the finish so far for the kit here. And here is the decals that we get. We got this huge decal sheet, which is not that surprising from a VRK kit, so that's quite cool. And we also have this a bit thicker stickers here for the lenses, and I'm assuming this is a bit reminiscent of the MGEX Strike Freedom. We take a look at the Strike Freedom like last 2 years. I'm not too sure. It's been some time since I reviewed that kit, and if you want to check it out, it's also in the channel. You guys can take a look at it after you finish this video, of course. So yeah, that is it for the decals and everything we get here. So let's just take a look at the manual. We got a flip out manual right here, very cool. We also have some illustrations here, which is very nice. And we also have, this is something that, oh, that's actually kind of cool here. I don't think I've seen this before, but yeah, you get some assembly guides here of like the steps that you're probably gonna do. You're gonna finish the top part of the build first, and the core block, and also the lower part and the backpack. So you can see how everything separates there, which is very cool. I think the light there, it kind of reflects here, so now you guys can see it there. And we also have the runners that we're gonna use for each parts of this, which is really cool actually. I don't think I've seen this before. And then we also have, let me just flip this real quick, guys. We also got some steps to, like, either we're gonna build it as with the red psycho frame or the gray psycho frame, so that's quite nice. And also in here, I'm accidentally knocking away my cutting mat. Just give me 1 sec, let me just rearrange that again. So in here it says that when installing the psycho frame parts with the new detail parts, the C parts, onto the MG Unicorn VRK, you can also unassemble some parts here, which is quite interesting. I don't know what this is. I'm probably gonna put this up somewhere if you guys want to see this exact part. Probably have it in the video here. I'm gonna edit this in, so that's quite cool. Got the parts list, and we also finally got the assembly here. So yeah, it's quite interesting that they labeled all of the runners that you're probably going to need for this part of the build, which I really appreciate when manuals do that, just so it's a bit easier to sort out your runners, and it's very cool. So yeah, I think that's it for this unboxing portion. It's a bit long just because there's a lot of stuff that we can see from the box, and yeah, I can't wait to build this kit. So enjoy the time lapse as usual, and also stay tuned for the review and also the spin at the end of the video. And yeah, I guess that's it for this portion of the video, for the unboxing portion. Enjoy the time lapse, and I'll see you after I finish this kit, whenever I finish this kit, which is probably like in a day or two. So yeah, enjoy the time lapse. Okay, so here is the Narrative Gundam in all of its glory, and I must say this kit has surpassed my expectations, even though my expectation was already quite high. But this somehow managed to exceed it, and I think this might actually be my favorite VRK kit for a variety of reasons that we're gonna take a look into afterwards. So before we get into the mobile suit, we have to take a look at all the stuff we get here. I put it in Ziploc bags right here, but we get a lot of stuff here. This is all of the Psycho Frame alternative parts, and here is also some of the accessories. And yeah, I currently have this fitted in the normal Psychoframe CPAX mode here. And yeah, it's a bit hard to transform it back because there's a lot of stuff that goes onto the transformation. It's a lot of parts forming and stuff like that, so I decided to just keep it at this form for now. If you guys are wondering how it looks like, the normal one, you guys can check out the pictures. I will probably put it here. That's how it probably looks before it. I only have one picture of it before I swapped it to the CPAX, so if you guys want to check it out, it should be on the screen right there. Before, I think I showed it already, so yeah, that is probably the only shot that I'm gonna probably have here for once. And yeah, this kit is actually quite cool for a variety of reasons besides the Psychoframe. We'll talk about the Psychoframe later. But I am really impressed with this. First and foremost, this is a really cool mechanism right here. So how this works is actually quite interesting. Let me just try to get this off screen, just so I can explain it a bit better. So wait, let me just figure out how I got this out again. This connection is actually quite hard. I actually kind of forgot how this connects, so give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm supposed to push it down like this. There you go. So yeah, as I was saying, this bit of the rifle is something that is quite simply genius, and I actually love it. So yeah, how this attached to the arm right here that we have here, the posable arm here, is that we pull out this one piece down here at the rifle here, and we slide that part straight in the arms, like from down here. So it just slides in like that. My camera could focus, so you just slide it in. It actually fell down. Wait, hold up. Right here. Get the piece here and then align it with the groove here. And it just slides into place just like so. And once you have it in the arm, just pop it straight in like that and just pose the fingers as appropriately as you want it to be. You can also have the fingers here, which is quite simply the most amazing feature I've seen in a Bandai model kit, especially a Verka, in a long time. Which it always surprises me how much a Verka can always evolve every year with like every new release, which I always look forward to every year. So yeah, it's quite simply amazing. And yeah, anyways, besides that amazing feature, we also get this closed fist right here, down here. And we'll talk about that a bit later. And so let's just take a look at the accessories first. We have a lot here, so let's just open the plastic bag first and just dump them down right here, and we'll take a look at it one by one. So let's start with this. We got some wheel pieces here. Oops, I almost left it. So we have a couple of wheel pieces down here that's going to be used for the core block, but I have not tried fitting this in the core block just yet, because I don't think I'm going to be messing around with the core block that much. The core block is going to be staying there for most of the part, but we're going to take a look at it after when we're going to dismantle the kit. We also got several option parts for transforming the Narrative's beam rifle to the Jagan rifle, which is pretty cool. We get an additional shield holder that we have here. Right now I have fitted the one on the right arm, but you can also fit these parts for the left arm, which is quite cool. And we also have another set of open fingers here also for the left arm. I'm sorry, I said that was the right arm. I said that was for the left arm, sorry. So this part is for the right arm. And then we got some standard beam saber effects as well here, which is quite nice. I think we took a look at it in the unboxing section as well. And then we get this beam saber holder that connects to the butt plug right here, which you can open up by just flipping this thing down. If it would flip. Hold up, let me just give me 1 sec. There you go. If you flip it like that, you can just put this right here. So that's also possible to fit that in, but I think it's gonna clash with the backpack. Actually, no, I don't think it's gonna clash with the backpack, but yeah, you can put this in here, and you can also slide the beam saber down there if you want to for some reason. But yeah, there's the connection point right there, which is pretty cool. Here we also have, while we're at it, we also have another hatch here, if I can open it. It's a bit hard to open, but let me just, we'll give you 1 sec. I think you have to pull this down a bit hard. Yeah, it's a bit hard right now, but I'll probably take a look at it later on. But you can open that for the base attachment. We'll see the base, how it attaches to the base later on at the end of the video, at the usual spin. And finally, we got this part, and this part is for this crotch section that's in a Psychoframe right here. So if you have it in a standard narrative version, it's this blue part instead of this cycle frame part here. So it just drops down like that, and you just pull it out and you just change it with this. So it's quite nice, very interchangeable, very nice, and it locks in pretty well as well. So that's quite cool. I really like that part. And the standard Verka also includes with a pilot figure right here, which is quite nice. We also have a pilot figure inside the core block, which we'll be taking a look later. And we also have a spare magazine right here. Very cool. And yeah, I think that's all for the accessories. Actually, though, you have one more. Just this piece. This piece is going to be for the standard backpack. You have to transform it again. There's a lot of transformation going on here, and we're not even at the cycle frames yet. So yeah, here's also the other cycle frames. I don't think I'm going to put this on because it's generally the same thing, just in a different color. So if you guys want to see it in a different color, there's a lot of images. Oops, I accidentally knocked my camera. But yeah, there's probably a lot of pictures already out online of how it looks. But so far, this finish is very nice, and yeah, for a lot of reasons as well. So yeah, let's just fit in this fist for now, and let's take a look at the articulation that you can expect from this kit. So this kit itself, the chest, I would say it's pretty limited, just because of one thing, and it's probably the core block, and there is absolutely no bend. At least I'm not trying to bend this in any weird way. So yeah, the chest is actually quite limited. So yeah, you can only probably do a side to side. It's a bit static there. But it kind of makes up with everything else because everything is pretty good. Standard Verka stuff, the articulation on the arms is really nice. The head articulation is very nice as well. Even though it's just a simple ball joint, it can do a lot of range of movements, not restricted by a lot of armor, so that's quite cool. And then on the shoulders, you can rise it up quite a bit. And the chest is actually quite flexible, but then again, always be careful because you can somehow pop out the core block because that's how it locks. It locks with the shoulder. So that's quite nice. We got some ball jointed flaps here, and also flaps that we have separated flaps also at the back. This part can move. This part can close, but since we have it in the CPAX mode, we have this thruster bit down here, which doesn't allow this to close. But if you have it in the narrative mode, this should be able to close, which is quite nice. This is also going to be closed as well when it doesn't have the cycle frame. This one also has a pretty interesting way of switching this from the what do you call it, the narrative mode to the destroy, quote unquote, destroy mode. And yeah, it requires flipping the part that is here and into here, so that's quite cool. I really like that part of the build. And as for the legs, we got some nice separation right here. The armor moves when you turn the knees, which is quite cool. I think it's a bit more apparent when you're looking at it in the normal narrative mode. So that's quite nice. Also a really nice bend, just to be expected actually at this point from Verka, which is very cool. Up here we also have the beam sabers that can rotate just like this, which is quite nice. I don't know what you're going to do with rotating it. Maybe you can rotate it down, but not really. I don't think it's not the same as a unicorn. It's just at the side. I'm pretty sure if it's the unicorn, I think it flips down into the backpack. But yeah, it's quite nice overall. And we also have this clip that is reminiscent of the new Gundam, and I'm pretty sure you can also attach the fin funnels here, which is quite nice. And yeah, I think that's about it for the articulation in the main parts. We also have some side flaps here, down here, which is quite nice. The legs can also tilt down right like this. Very cool. And we also have some good range of motion right here, and it also twists a bit side to side, a bit in a diagonal way. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, there's a joint right here that moves it this way, so that's also worth pointing out. And for the armor, the shield holder here, we get just one range of motion here where you can flip this here, and it just connects through this hole right here, so it just goes down just like that, and you can just take it off when you want it. And as for the details of this, it's actually quite nice. Like, there you go, that's very cool. And yeah, now once we're finished with the mobile suit, the articulation and everything, I think I've showcased everything quite alright already so far. Let's take a look at the core block. So to get the core block out of the chest, we have to separate these chest parts just a bit, and then we flip this part up, and this should just click out of position. If I can pull it out, there you go, it just clicks out of position, and we get our core block right here. So to transform this core block, we can just flip out these wings right here at the back, and then we can just flip them into position just like so. And then we flip this cockpit up here, And also in the bottom of this cockpit, you can flip the seating position of the pilot here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just gonna try doing this. So if you flip out this part down here, you can move the cockpit upwards just like so, which is quite cool. Very small detail. I think that it also is the case for the Zeta Gundam, if I'm not mistaken. But with the Zeta Gundam, you just can't see it. But in this narrative, you can actually see it if you pay close attention to it. So that's quite nice. And you also flip this out, and here we have our small trusty core block. And I think I'm supposed to push this back. There we go. So yeah, we have the core block just like so, and we can attach the landing gears just down here. I'm pretty sure it's down there somewhere, but I'm not gonna bother looking at it for now. So yeah, this is how the core block looks, which is quite cool. I like the transformation. It's quite simple, and it's quite solid as well. I don't really remember how the double Zeta went. I remember building it like a long time ago. I think it might be 4 years ago at this point. But I remember it being pretty solid. But this one is, I think it just takes it into a different level, and just the level of detail that we get here is really nice. If I can transform this back into the normal core block, to the chest core block, and yeah, right here. So as I was saying, the reason why this kit really has limited, what do you call it, the chest articulation, is just because of this piece right here. This piece, somewhat of the backbone here of how everything connects here, makes it quite rigid, and you can't do much with it. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that you can't do much with the articulation on the chest, but I think it's a worthy trade for how good this builds up and how strong everything is, despite this being a core block chest and mobile suit type of styles, which normally doesn't go that well with, especially with like smaller kits. But this kit is actually quite nice in how everything handles, how they handle this style of mobile suit, which I really do appreciate from Bandai, and it's quite cool. And I think if there's one master grade to get, especially a Verka, that you should get right now, it's probably this. You're probably going to invest a lot of time on this. I think I at least spent like 10 hours on this, just alone on just like messing around with it, just how playing around with the psycho frame and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very worthy kit to buy, and the details, especially on this shield, I really like this shield. This shield's very cool. And yeah, there's a lot of details that you can get from this narrative Gundam, and I think it's a worthy, I think it might be a must-buy of this year. I think you can skip on like a lot of the seed kits, in my opinion, except for maybe the big ones, like maybe the Freedom and stuff, if you really like the kit. But to be honest, this kit really excels on all of the engineering. Bandai did an amazing job on this kit. And yeah, that's all I can say so far, to be honest. I think this might actually be my favorite Verka kit, just for a variety of reasons, and I just personally really like the design. So yeah, that adds up to how much I liked about this kit. And also, before I end this video, to transform some of these parts, just like for example, I'm just gonna take off this shoulder real quick just so I can demonstrate. So here is the part that kind of builds up the psycho frame right here. So it just attaches like this. So as you can see here, there's a psycho plate right here, and also the white part of the frame. So if you want to switch this out, let me just take out some of the parts here. Here is the part that I was trying to look for, and to replace it, you have to just snap this off, take out the pink psycho frame, and just put in the gray psycho frame, and just pop this back in place. So the point I'm trying to make here is that there are some parts of the transformation that requires you to swap out the white piece here. So the white piece, there is no duplicates for the white piece, despite us getting a copy of the G rudder, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, sorry, it's the F rudder. We didn't get a copy of the F rudder, so yeah, you only get one part of this. So if you want to switch out this part, you have to switch out you don't get an extra white part to put on the other psycho plate that is not being used right now. So yeah, you have to kind of swap it out with the one that's in use right now. So yeah, I think that's worth pointing out as well. And here are the leftover parts. Actually, I forgot to show this before I end the video. Here is the leftover parts. As you can see, we also have some parts for the cockpit of the unicorn, which is quite cool. We also got some parts for the chest right here. I can see some of the parts. It's quite recognizable as the unicorn, very standard unicorn build. And here is the other one as well. As for the runner for the red psycho plate, I actually don't have it in the box right now, and I don't have the box open for now. But for the red part, I think everything's used, so you don't get leftover pieces. It's just the gray piece that we have that's left over for mostly from the unicorn. So if you have a unicorn kit, you can put the cycle plate here, which is quite cool. Maybe if you want to put the green color or the blue color, or maybe if you want to paint this to another color, it's also possible, which is quite cool. And yeah, I think that's about it for this kit. This kit is definitely a must buy. If you guys have the budget for it, I think this is definitely the most worth it kit that you can probably get right now. And yeah, I think overall it's definitely probably the best Verka that I've built so far. Maybe it's a bit close to the Wing Zero, but maybe this is I think this might actually be the best one. I have to make the other Verka kits as well, maybe the older ones like the Sazabi, maybe to put my take on the Verka line. But honestly, this kit is definitely the best. I am totally not biased by the design. And yeah, I think that's about it for this review. And oh, actually, I think I'm missing one more thing. I'm sorry this is taking a bit long, but the beam rifle, I forgot to switch it to the jacket mode. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this pretty fast because I'm about to end this. So all you have to do is just open the barrel right there, and then you just plug this in. Just make sure to pay attention. It's always like a semicircle here, so the connection is only one direction. If my camera would focus, there we go. And all you have to do is just pull out the scope and switch it with the FAMAS-like attachment here, which just goes down. I think it's the other way around, just like so. So now you got the Jegan rifle, a bit shorter barrel, which is quite cool. You got a bullpup looking, even though it's not a bullpup technically, it looks like a FAMAS, but you get a more shorter SMG looking mobile suit weapon, so that's quite cool. And yeah, I guess that's all now. I think I covered everything. I'm going to take a look at how everything looks when posed as well at the end. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it's a bit scuffed, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys pick this up as well, because I think this is a kit that is like definitely a must get for this year. And yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video. Dislike if you dislike this video, like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time, and enjoy the spin as usual.